In this video, I'll be showing you how to create 4 different crop farm designs. We've got a greenhouse, a field, a hydroponic/indoor farm, and a weird circular design that I don't really know what to name. As usual, I'll do a little tour of each design before I show you how to build them. So for our first design, we have this nice, elegant, simple greenhouse design. Now the whole thing is made out of pretty much just wood and glass, and that gives us a nice open view for everything inside. And heading inside, you can see we have a bunch of crops just taking up the entire floor, except for this center area where we have a little island composter with some nice plants. We've also got a couple of lanterns in here hanging from some chains, and that's pretty much it. This is really easy to build and simple, so if you want to build it for yourself, stick around and we'll get started right now. Firstly, start off with the pillars. We're going to place 4 on the front, all spaced apart by 1. And then on the side, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 apart and place the next one. And then the same thing, 3 apart, place the next one. We're going to place the back left corner block in line with these, and then place this one in line with the other block over there. Now in all these gaps on the floor, place in a bunch of stone bricks. And now let's raise up all the pillars by an additional 2 blocks so that they are all 3 blocks tall. Next, let's go ahead and add the door on. So place this upside down spruce stair block and then an oak door. In these 2 gaps on the front, place some glass panes and then grab out your scaffolding, head up. We're going to connect these panes together along the top and then add another 3 on the middle up there. Now in these walls, we're going to place some glass blocks on the sides and in the center, glass panes. Now for the back wall, we're going to repeat this same design, except we're going to extend it throughout the whole wall. So we're just going to alternate between glass panes and glass blocks. And now for this other side wall, just repeat the exact same design as the first side wall. Next, grab out your scaffolding once again and create this big kind of platform to make things a bit easier. And we're going to be creating the roof. This is going to be made out of spruce slabs to begin with, and then we're going to transition into spruce stairs once we get up to the top area, and then pretty much just follow the design that I'm creating as shown. Head around to the side and extend this slab all the way to the edge, and then on this middle block here, place another slab below. Just extend this all the way to the end and then head around to the opposite side and do the same thing. Now let's build up our scaffolding on the back, and we're going to do the exact same thing that we did on the front, just create that roof trim design. Next, head around to one of the sides, grab out your scaffolding and head up, and we're going to be adding in that same roof design once again in the middle. Next, with that done, now let's connect up each of these roofs together with some slabs along the top like this, and then in the middle, raise it up by an additional slab. Now that's all of the wood on the roof done, and all that's left to do now is fill in these gaps with some glass blocks. Also on this area here, be sure to raise it up a little bit. Don't worry too much about following exactly as how I do it, because we'll fix it up once we head to the interior. Now, time to head into the interior, and we're going to fix up this area here. Just raise up the glass blocks and panes and do the same on the front as well. Now on this block here, place 2 chains and a lantern, and then on this side place another 2 and another lantern. Now it's time to add in our middle block, so go to the center and then the left and right of the center place your stripped spruce blocks. In between them place a water bucket and on top a composter. then some pot plants with your plants of choice, and then all that's left is to hoe all of the grass into farmland, and then go ahead and plant your crop of choice. I'm going with carrots. And congratulations, you've now finished your greenhouse build. Next up, we've got this nice big field kind of crop farm design, and this is probably the most efficient design out of all of them, holding the most amount of crops. We've also got a bunch of different sections. We've got 6 in total, and in this configuration I've got wheat, carrots and potatoes taking up all of the fields. Heading in here, you can see we have these nice dirt paths that kind of connect everything up together. We also have some composters at the end of each of these paths. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a big old field of crops. And if you want to build this, we'll get started right now. Starting off with the fence, we're going to place the front left block, and then all of these blocks are going to be spaced apart by 3, except for on the front here, where these 2 are spaced apart by 1. So on the sides here, all of these blocks are going to be spaced apart by 3. And if this is a little bit hard to follow, I'll do an overall view at the end of the fence design. Now with all of our spruce wood placed, it's time to add in all of the fences. So on the front, in the 1 block gaps, add in a fence, and in the 3 block gaps, add in 2 fences and a fence gate in the middle. And then for all of the rest of the gaps, we're going to be placing in some fence gates on the sides and a fence in the middle. Now it's time to go around and add all of our slabs and lanterns on top of the wood blocks. So pretty much just follow along with how I'm doing it here. They're pretty much always just alternating between slabs and lanterns. Now it's time to go around one last time and add some coarse dirt underneath all of the fences and fence gates. It's finally time to head inside, and we're going to be placing some more coarse dirt, and we're going to be connecting up this back pillar with the front left fence gate, and then do the same with the other fence gate. And then for the last of the coarse dirt, align yourself up at the middle and place another strip like this. Next, let's add all of our composters in. So on the middle left side, place one with a trapdoor on the top, and then on the back 2 blocks, place another 2, and then another one on the right middle. Now it's time to add in all of our water source blocks into the center of each little field. And then go ahead and hoe all of the grass into farmland. And now all that's left is, you guessed it, place all of your crops of choice. I'm going with wheat on the left 2, carrots on the middle 2, and then on the right 2 I'm placing potatoes. And that's it for the field crop farm design. And now let's move on to the next one. Next up, we've got the hydroponic / indoor farm design. And this one is, of course, very inefficient. It's more aesthetic. It's also easily scalable. You're supposed to kind of just repeat this design as far as you need to go. And you pretty much just put it in a basement or a room or something just to make it look really nice. As you can see on the left here, we've got our crops. And then on the right, we have a bunch of plants. We've got plants up here as well with these nice little kind of tube lights. I don't really know what they're called, fluorescent lights or something like that. And yeah, if you like this design, stick around and we'll get started right now. So we're going to be creating this in this big room that is 9 wide, it's 21 long, and then 6 high. But don't worry too much about these measurements. As long as your room is 9 wide and 6 high, this design is meant to be kind of scalable anyway. So firstly, let's head to the back left corner, 1 block away from the back and left, place in 2 dirt blocks, and then spaced apart by 1, place an additional 7 dirt blocks like this for 8 in total. Then in between each one, place some stair blocks like I am, and this is where our water is going to be placed in. Now with all those stair blocks placed, add in all of your water. Next, it's time to cover every exposed dirt block with a trapdoor, except from the front here we'll be placing a barrel and a composter. And then just continue going around, covering up all of those dirt blocks with trapdoors. Next up, head to the back right side and place in a bunch of 2x2 dirt blocks. These are going to be spaced apart by 2 blocks as well, and we're placing 4 of these in total. And then go ahead and cover up every exposed face here with spruce trapdoors. Next up, on top of all of these, place in a bunch of pots. We'll be filling these up with flowers later, don't worry. Now it's time to add in the lights, so line yourself up with this trapdoor here and place in 2 chains, head around to the other side and place another 2 here. Then on these place some polished diorite, and then in between those connect them up with some diorite slabs. Then place 2 levers, make sure they're pointing the right way, and then in between those place some end rods. Now we're going to create a bunch more of these lights, but instead of creating them above every individual little section of farmland, we'll be spacing them apart by 1. Next, it's time to head to the very back middle, and we're going to add in our lights for above these little planter boxes. And instead, these ones are going to be touching the roof, so there's no chains needed. And they're also going to be 1 longer than the lights that we just created. Now, it's kind of hard to explain exactly where I'm placing these, but the placements are actually meant to be changed to fit the area you're working with. So don't worry too much about exactly following along with how I'm placing them here. Next, let's add the planters below the lights, and 1 block below place a coarse dirt, cover those 2 faces with spruce trapdoors, and then on the sides place some upside down spruce stairs. And then we're just going to repeat this exact same design underneath the rest of the lights. And now it's time to actually add your plants on top of these planter boxes. The coarse dirt is meant to have an actual full plant, while the sides are meant to have kind of pots. And just go ahead and fill these up with whatever plants you like. Now it's time to do the same thing to all of the bottom pots and just add in all of your plants of choice. Next, go ahead and hoe all of the dirt on the left side. And then fill these up with the crops of your choice. I'm going with wheat, carrots, and potatoes. And then I almost forgot, right at the back, be sure to add in these 2 barrels and a composter. And that's it for the hydroponic/indoor farm. So for the final design, we have this nice kind of circular but actually square kind of setup thing. I don't really know exactly what to call this design, but this is very easily expandable. You could add these kind of circles on wherever you wanted. You could have one on each corner. You could have some raised ones, like pretty much wherever you want. I just have it in this configuration as it's pretty easy to make and it also looks good. And yeah, if you like this design, stick around and we'll get started right now. As usual, let's start off with the pillars. Place these 2 blocks diagonally and then spaced apart by 3, place another 2. And then just repeat this for the remaining corners. Now with this first area done, let's add on another one using the back right corner as the starting point for the next one. And now it's time to raise up all of the pillars to the correct heights. For the front ones, these are going to be 2 blocks tall, and then for the back ones, these are going to be 4 blocks tall. For the entrance, place 2 stone brick blocks like this, and in the center, some stairs. And then for the rest of all of these sides, we're going to place in some upside down stone brick stairs. For the taller section, just place these same stairs except one block down from the very top pillar. Next, head inside of the taller section and place a bunch of trapdoors exactly how I am. Now it might be a bit of a struggle getting out of here, so I understand why you might want to replace these with spruce planks or something else. Next up, it's time to go around and add a bunch of spruce fences and fence gates. So on these sides here, place spruce fences in the middle, and on the sides some fence gates. On top of the fences, place in a lantern. In the middle of our area, place a stripped spruce wood block and then connect it up to the sides with these spruce trapdoors. Fill in the rest of the area with some dirt. Then chuck a composter on right here and then fill up this trapdoor with some water. Next, let's add a little staircase to connect our areas. So place some fences like I have here and then some slabs on top. And then up at the top area, we're pretty much going to do the same thing as below. Fill in everything with dirt and be sure to leave in a gap like I have. And then in this gap, place in a stripped spruce wood block and connect it up to the edge with some trapdoors. Now fill up the rest of the sides with some more fences and fence gates. On top of those fences, of course, add in a lantern. Chuck a composter on the back middle and fill up this trapdoor here with some water. Now it's time to go ahead and hoe all of the dirt and plant in your crops of choice. I'm going with wheat on the top and then carrots on the bottom. Next to the entrance, let's place these two chests here in a barrel. On top of the barrel, a lantern. And then create this little pathway like so with some andesite. And that's it for our circular crop farm design. Alright, and that's it for all 4 of the crop farm designs. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like for the algorithm gods. If you want to see more tutorials just like this one, subscribe with notifications on. Also, leave a comment with your favorite design. I'd love to know which one you like the most. Alright, cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.